Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're going to be starting a brand new series in a new campaign of Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. This time we're going to be playing as the Germans. We've just wrapped up a campaign as the British. We did do a part of a campaign as the Germans previously, but then we lost that save due to a patch which wiped out all the previous saves. So hopefully we can finish this one this time around. Now, as I've discovered, when you win a campaign, or finish a campaign, you can then do another campaign for that same country 10 years in the future. So I could do a British 1900 campaign, look and see how the designs and ships and whatnot have changed. But I wanted to go back and play as the Germans because they do have a slightly different sort of design philosophy, some slightly different hulls, things like that. And I decided, let's do a campaign where the ships that we design, or at least as far as I can within the limitations of the system, are loosely based on real life designs. And so we are going to be starting a new German campaign. I did design all of the ships to the best of my ability. One of our battleship class is kind of loosely based on the Kaiser class of pre-Dreadnought battleships. If we take a look at that, what that means is German ships tended to skew on the small gun side. And so this ship actually has 4 9-inch guns. Now the Kaiser class historically had 9.4-inch guns, so I rounded down. The game doesn't give you the option to do fractions, and it doesn't let you do millimeters. You're stuck with inches. So I couldn't do the 240 millimeters that these guns represented, so we had to go with 9-inchers. We also did go with some turreted guns as well. So we have, what is it? I think it's 4 5-inch guns and turrets. The Kaiser class, I believe, had 3 turrets on each side, so 6 guns in turrets. I want to say they were like 6-inch guns maybe, but within the hull limitation of the game, this is what I could do. And then we also have some casemate guns as well. We've got 4 5-inch guns, or sorry, we've got 10 4-inch guns and casemates, and then we also have 6 3-inch guns sort of firing on the superstructure. I didn't really look to see if those are historical for the design or not. We also do have some torpedo tubes, and then our ship makes 17 knots. Now, we did sacrifice firepower, so what that did allow us to do is it did allow us to jack up the armor here. So the main belt covers 14 inches. And the conning tower is 12 inches. So the conning tower is a little bit light, but I'm hoping the heavier main belt armament means that these ships are going to be able to take a punishment so that the lighter caliber guns and frankly the better secondary guns in these turrets helps make them more effective against larger British ships. So we'll see how that turns out, but this is sort of our battleship design that we're going in with. It's also a 9,000 ton limit because the Germans have smaller dockyards, at least to start. The Kaiser and Augusta is sort of our armored cruiser class. We don't need to click in, but basically it has armor between 0 and 7 inches. It has 7-inch guns. I believe historically the Germans had like 6.4, I want to say, or maybe it was 5.9. It might have been 6-inch guns. I went a little bit heavier on this than the historical Kaiser and Augustan with 7-inch guns. We also have 2 5-inchers in turrets, I believe, in the rear of the ship, and then 8 4-inch guns in the casemates, 4 3-inch guns along the superstructure, 4 underwater torpedo tubes. So you can see here, unlike our British campaign where we didn't put torpedoes on armored cruisers or battleships, we are going with torpedoes on everything. We also have the new class of light cruisers here, which are 13 4-inch guns and single gun mounts, 4 3-inch guns, and then 4 underwater torpedo tubes. Congratulations, new. You also are fast at 21 knots, whereas the Kaiser and Augustan has a speed of 18.5. And then we have the Death class torpedo boats, which consist of 2 torpedo tubes, a max speed of 27 knots, and a 3-inch gun at the front of the ship. I did said put the torpedo tubes near sort of at the front of amidships with the funnels behind, and so that'll be interesting to see how they fight. So those are the ships that we're going to see with. We did build 6 battleships, 7 armored cruisers, 10 light cruisers, and 12 torpedo boats. The British have 6 battleships, 13 armored cruisers, 21 light cruisers, and 23 torpedo boats. If we go to our fleet, everybody's based out of Wilhelmshaven. Don't know if that matters or not, but whatever. All of our ships are currently set to in being, which means they're all in port. So we're going to go ahead and change that. Get them all out to sea. So we'll set them to sea control. These crews are already filled out, right? Yeah. Okay. So they're all set to sea control. We do have about a positive balance of 2.7 million, so we will be building more ships before too long to try and close the gap between us and the British. Research right now, we're focusing on engines. We're 14 months away from triple expansion engines. We're 2 months away from a hull strengthening, which apparently will give us new hulls for Battleship 1, Armored Cruiser 1, Semi-Armored Cruiser 1, Light Cruiser 1, and Torpedo Boat. So that should be interesting. We are working on cruiser design to get larger displacement cruisers, but we're a long ways away from that. 5 months away from the voice tubes with whistle for our control station for fire control. And 32 months and 38 months for hull protection and gun layout, respectively. Leaving one priority open to try and speed some of this stuff up, but that's kind of where we're at. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's hope my crews can hit the broadside of a barn. Hopefully. All right, so we'll move to February. The British are moving a bunch of ships around. Interesting. So they are moving to Rosyth with 5 armored cruisers, 2 torpedo boats to Yarmouth, 2 battleships, 5 heavy cruisers, and 4 light cruisers to Scapa Flow. So the AI is moving a lot of ships around. All of our ships are already at Wilhelmshaven. And it looks like no battles were fought this month, and no transports were heard or anything like that. So a quiet first month. Holy shit, Major Gremlin. 20 more subs? You're crazy. Oh my god, dude. Thank you very much. Very generous. I don't think there are subs in the game yet, Super Cheese. At least I don't have it researched. Man, Major, you are very generous. Happy holidays to you. Huh. Joe Shantz, by the way, thank you for the follow. And House 75. It's just cycling through. It's just going to keep going and going and going. All right, so I think that means we'll move forward to the next turn here into March because there's no battles going on. So, okay, new technologies unlocked, new hull strengthening, newer structure steel gives us 5% hull form, 5% resistance, 5% hull weight, and gives us the Battleship 3 hull. How does that work? If I go into ship design and I do a new design. So the Battleship 3 hull is a displacement between 12 and 17,000 tons. So I can't even use it yet because I don't have large enough docks. Fuck. Well, I'm working on building bigger docks, but I don't know that we're ever going to get there in the course of this war. It takes like a year to expand the docks by 1,000 tons. I need 3 years. It is a ship design game. All right. So what does that do for research here? Hull design is done, I guess. At least that next, the hull strengthening is done, at least in terms of that next research priority. Still 12 months on engines. 3 months on control station. And get those next month if I make that a priority. I guess we'll do that. Still no battles, by the way. Okay, intercepted. We are raiding enemy waters, but we are intercepted by a strong enemy fleet that is operating in the area. So we have 2 armored cruisers, 3 light cruisers, and we are being intercepted by a British battleship of 10,400 tons, 2 light cruisers, and 3 torpedo boats. They're guarding 10 transports. I could choose to withdraw, or I can choose to go in with 2 heavy cruisers, or 2 armored cruisers and 3 light cruisers against a battleship, 2 lights, and torpedo boats. Fuck it, let's fight. I don't have any designs for them yet. Super. All right, so CLs are currently set to screen. Screw that. Set to battle line. Nobody needs to screen. It's all about getting your ships in for torpedo attacks, in my opinion. Ooh, we got the lead ship of the class here, the new, but I don't know why that's not the lead ship in the formation. It does look like it's dark, maybe? It's evening, so the sky actually kind of seems to reflect evening. So evening is -15 accuracy, cloudy, light breeze, and smooth waves. So we should have reasonably good spotting, but maybe not great. They are spotted to the northwest. So the Hansa will turn this way. Light cruisers are all turning in weird ways. I don't know why they're going that direction. Shit! Enemy ship spotted. What have we spotted? This would be an enemy battleship, I think. Curious how big the guns are on these things. Well, if we kill one battleship, I'm sure the whole battle's worth it, even if the rest of our ships get knocked off. 4 kilometers. What kind of penetration? 7-inch guns can get up to 7.2 inches at 5,000. We probably need to get inside 2.5 kilometers to have a chance to penetrate any realistic armor belt. But it's more about the torpedoes, I think. So our cruisers are still trying to get into formation. These guys aren't really ready yet. The Graudens is the lead ship. Let's go ahead and drop smoke. So the Graudens is going to try and get ahead of this enemy battleship. The one advantage we have is if we can just swarm them with 5 ships and they've only got 1 at the lead of their column, we might be able to get in. I do see some shells coming in from the rear as well. Still identifying it's a 71%. So the other enemy ships are out here. We just haven't detected them yet. All right, all of our crews are green. Keep that in mind. First battle. Let's turn an angle. I don't know that we're going to be able to penetrate. We can always switch to HE and just try and start fires. We got a ricochet from a head-on shot here. We've fired 59 shells already. Good news is they're probably green too, so I'm guessing they don't have great accuracy. Battleship Russell. She only has 10-inch guns, so the British battleship class went light as well. So that works to our advantage. Looks like their belt is up to 9.9 inches, which means we need to get inside 1,000 meters to have a chance of penetration at any spot on the ship. But yeah, they went light on their heavy caliber. I wonder if the AI designs are somewhat influenced by your own. All right, this is a protected cruiser, which looks like it has heavier guns and turrets. So there's the 2 protected and the battleships over here. How fast is the battleship? 16 knots, so our light cruiser should be able to get ahead of this guy pretty easily. Looks like we just had a penetration of a 4-inch gun against the aft belt. Another ricochet here. Another penetration. This one on a 3-incher. Panzer, thanks for the sub. Appreciate the support. There's one of their torpedo boats in close. So the Graudens can make 21 knots, so it should be able to close on the Russell pretty easily. I'm honestly tempted to switch fire. The CL. One ricochet, 1 partial pen. 2 out of 116 shells. So it looks like we hit its deck and then also part of the rear part of the ship. Let's get up to ×2 speed here. So we're going to try and close on the battleship here. So just got HE shells, maybe start some fires on the battleship. Can't get a good angle to get my whole broadside into action here. Trying to catch up with the battleship, but it's turning away from us. Screw it. Attack the Constance. She's right here. Turn into it. See if we can get some torpedoes into it. Alright, one fish is away. Hard over, Grodens. The enemy fired at you too. Alright, we got a torpedo hit on the lead enemy light cruiser. They also got a hit on me. Fuck. Can they fire the rear? There's another enemy fish coming here from that torpedo boat. Another fish going out there. The enemy's firing too. Is there rudder damage? Because we're just going in a circle. Yeah, it looks like it. I think we're both going to take a fish. Yep. Alright, so Constance is sinking. Grodens is also sinking. Cossack. Why is there a British ship called the Cossack? Alright, light enemy cruiser here. Hansa go hard over to avoid the sinking wreck. The enemy has 8 fish, so 2 per tube. So each side has lost a light cruiser so far, or a protected cruiser. Trying to avoid the wreck. Don't want to ram it. Or our fish, anyway. We have a stern tube. We could fire at this guy. Oh, we did fire at the enemy light, the protected cruiser. So our armored cruiser fired a fish. Straight down the throat of the enemy light. Oh, flash fire. She's going under. Okay, well, she got hit by a torpedo too. Enemy light cruiser took, what caused that? Got flash fire from a 3-inch, so it was just a fire on board that spread to the magazines, I guess. There's the enemy cargo ships. Battleships retreating toward them, I guess. Enemy torpedo boat, the foam is off here, over here. So both enemy light cruisers are sunk. They still have, I think, what, 3 torpedo boats? I'm gonna focus on the foam because she's so close. We're at extreme torpedo range, so I don't think they're likely to fire against us. Our light cruisers would be pretty good against them with the 4-inch rapid firing guns. No, I do not. What don't I do, Slick Wilhelm? Hearts of Iron 4. I have in the past, not anytime recently. When it first came out, I played a bunch as Italy. Okay. Let's speed this up a little bit. All right, here, actually, we're going to pause this here. If the enemy's not going to screen its battleship very well, I'm going to detach Saxony and go for a charge. We're going to charge the enemy battleship. Okay, that torpedo boat's back here, but we're going to focus all of our fire on the battleship. Enemy cargo ships appear to have guns as well. I'm seeing shell fire come in from them. Oh no! You guys are gonna ram. AI ramming avoidance is so dumb. Turn left, which actually increases the likelihood of ramming. Why? Thankfully, friendly ramming doesn't seem to really cause much of any damage, but still. Oh shit. That torpedo boat's closing in. Where are its tubes? Someone just fired a torpedo, I think. Well, we fired a fish? That's not going to hit the torpedo boat. There's no way. They're going to turn to avoid. Yeah, they turned to avoid. But at least it drove the torpedo boat off of me a little bit. Penetration, rudder damage. Niobe, you're going to try and cut ahead of the battleship. This is the phase of the game where, like, because it's the first battle in the campaign, everybody's accuracy is terrible. And so you've got a lot of, like, point-blank battles that nothing really much seems to be coming of. These things will look very differently in 12 months in game time when your crews are all experienced. I also did try and go with more compartments for the German ships. I sort of focused on sort of the Tirpitz sort of style of, you know, the primary duty of a warship is to stay afloat. Alright, the battleship is taking hits, but not a lot of damage. Niobe's gonna charge ahead, try and get some fish into her. The enemy torpedo boats don't seem super inclined to charge for a torpedo attack of their own. I think the AI ships are colliding here. It doesn't have torpedoes. Nice. All right, we'll slow down. Get your fish out. Oof, that was close. All right, one fish is away. Looks like one of our forward guns is destroyed here. Battleship's gonna take a fish right amidships. At least one, hopefully two will get fired. Boom! Second fish away. Another one gonna hit a midship. Boom! Alright, this is gonna be an unquestioned, decisive victory. Battleship Russell sinks due to heavy damage. We could lose the rest of our fleet, and I don't think it would matter. Sinking an enemy battleship is definitely a victory. Niobe took some damage there, but she's okay. Saxony took some damage too. I don't even care about the enemy transports over there. Go get them, boys. They're all yours, Neuhauser. Crank up the speed and go get the enemy transports. Okay, so we sank the enemy battleship, the Russell. She's going down. We sank 2 light cruisers. So far, we've lost nothing. Niobe suffered moderate damage. 3 enemy torpedo boats are left. They certainly could do damage with their fish. Time to speed up. Just make sure they don't get close enough to launch torpedoes and then go charge the enemy transports with our cruisers. We lost 1 ship. I lost it. Oh, you're right. I did lose a CL. That's right. That initial CL for CL trade. Either way, still a decisive victory, no doubt. Enemy torpedo boats look like they're turning away. Golden spatulas. Thank you very much for the raid. Thanks, dude. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We're in the midst of demolishing an enemy merchant convoy. We just sank an enemy battleship, 2 enemy light cruisers. Technically, in this era, they'd be protected cruisers. While we lost 1 protected cruiser of our own, it's the first battle of a brand new German campaign, which we just started tonight, about a half hour ago. And so I'm now going after what's left of the merchant convoys, rather than going after enemy torpedo boats, because I kind of feel like torpedo boats are just asking to, you know, when you go after enemy torpedo boats, you're basically just asking to eat torpedoes. So why do that? Why not go after the undefended enemy merchants? Even if the game doesn't really treat merchants all that valuably at this time. ManY99, thanks for the follow. Appreciate the support. Also, Mobius372. Ammo detonation, fire. We're just kind of speeding through this because merchants are generally pretty easy to kill. You can see the conflict and the Simum are both in trouble. Conflict sinking. Enemy torpedo boats appear to have hauled off away from us. The Neuhauser class of protected cruisers, very effective commerce raiders with their 13 4-inch guns, I believe it is. All right, these 2 transports are sinking. And so now it's just mopping up enemy. Enemy opposition. Golden, if you're still around, what were you guys playing tonight? How many shells do they have? Our ships? The merchant ships have over 3,500 4-inch shells. Hearts of Iron 4? Nice. I'm guessing that's why folks were asking if I play Hearts of Iron 4. I should give it another look. It's been a while since I played. I think the last time I played was when the oh my goodness, I forgot the name of the DLC, but basically the Pacific Chinese, or the China DLC, the Warlord thing. I wanted to play with the naval one, but I don't know, I heard mixed reviews and just never got around to it. Rule the Waves 2 tonight? You know, I think Rule the Waves 2 has a better inter-war mechanic. You know, obviously this game right now in its current iteration is just the individual war that you can fight, and that takes, I think, a lot out of the potential of the game. The wars aren't as interesting. Designing and researching ships and managing your fleet is what's really interesting, and typically the wars in this game end so fast you never really get a chance to do that, or you get a very limited chance to do that. That being said, there is something to having a 3D image of your battles being fought, you know, as opposed to more of a spreadsheet game like Rule the Waves. Okay, so I think we're down to 2 enemy transports. It says 3 up here, but one of these is sinking. Let's kill 75% of enemy transports, 10% achieved. Alright, we spotted another TR out here. I wish I could auto-resolve at this point. That would be nice. Like, you can auto-resolve at the start of a battle, but it'd be nice if you could, like, just be like, alright, let's let the AI finish mopping up. What I really hope they do with this game that Rule the Waves doesn't have is I really hope when you fight wars you have the ability to manage your fleets and have an order of battle and decide which ships are going to fight in which engagements. I think the thing that drives me the most crazy about Rule the Waves is just the randomness of all the battles and which ships are involved. They do have an auto-resolve in this, which is a big step up over Rule the Waves, but you know, if you're the Secretary of the Navy, it's not like you're rolling dice to see which ships should go out and fight, you know. Maybe I'll send 2 torpedo boats, or maybe I'll send a Dreadnought. Who knows? That's kind of the way Rule the Waves works right now. Alright, my armored cruisers are lagging way back because they're so slow. I'm sure the Kaiser is going to be annoyed at how much money we're spending on all these torpedoes that we're shooting at merchant ships that are sinking from gunfire anyway. Torpedoes are like state-of-the-art weapons. I mean, especially nowadays, but even more so, you know, in this era. They're expensive and they're complex, and that's even more so in 1890. We're also not super reliable at this point, but can you order to conserve torpedoes? I can. So I can go down here and I can, right now they're set to deliberate fire, which means they're gonna balanced fire. Aggressive means like fire at anything in range regardless of how likely you are to hit them. Save means only fire at high probability targets, or you can just turn it off altogether. But ammunition doesn't actually cost anything in the game, so whatever. Sifix, thanks for the resub. Appreciate the support. Good. I'm glad you enjoy it. 7 months now, Sifix. You're getting close to a Twitch baby. Aerodice, thank you very much for the follow. It's practice for my crews, damn right. They're all green anyway. I don't know that the game factors in how many rounds you've fired in terms of experience. I somewhat doubt it. I'm guessing it's some sort of base calculation of how many battles have you fought in. Maybe how much total damage you've inflicted. Jeez, this is just like a string of transports. We keep finding more and more. I would have ended the battle a while ago if I could, but I don't have that option. I could sail away from the enemy, but Nelson would be mad. You'd love to see the torpedo boats come in and try and attack me. I'm not paying attention. The AI could totally do that. Oh, nice. Stern shot. Boom. Torpedo hit. The AI could totally swing in on the Hansa or the Saxony here and go after him. And I would be none the wiser until I got some alert saying something bad happened. Just keep sailing. I like how the news like, well, they're not sinking yet. Fire another torpedo. Just as we go right by, we're just like cruising by, like finish him off with a torpedo. Okay. We have left 3 fish here and 5 here. Yeah, we still got fish. 2 more transports in sight here. Should get us pretty close to the 75% of the enemy merchants Sunk. Looks like another one's up here. I think there were a total of 10 merchants in this battle, what the game told us. Get those stokers their workouts. 3,300 rounds of ammo left on that lead ship. 33,333. Oh, that was a beautiful moment. 3333. Endless merchants pog. Yeah, somewhere a World War II German is salivating. These guys are just like lobbing shells back here. Now that was a horrible job. Take the worst aspects of coal mining, put yourself in a ship below the waterline, includes steam boilers, and that's what stokers are. Coal dust everywhere, exhaustion, constantly shoveling coal into flaming hot, you know, receivers. Oh, and if the ship gets hit and damaged, water rushing into the boilers will probably cause steam to flash burn you. Yeah, sounds cool, right? All right, so we killed more than 75% of the enemy transports. I mean, that's not just... I remember, I think, was it the... One of the American ironclads is hit, I want to say like Donaldson or Henry or something like that, by a single round shot that went through a boiler, and literally like 70 guys all basically die from steam burns. They all just melt, like their skin just melts off from the steam. They cleaned it all up and repaired the ship. They used it again. But yeah, it's like, you know, when people talk about food where it's like this, the meat just falls off the bones. Well, that's humans now. All right. So I imagine we're going to finish this guy off with another fish. You know, screw it. Just set to aggressive. Yeah. Similar to probably combat with tanks. Except at least tankers don't have the whole stoker job of like shoveling coal into a... Are they really just going to sail right by the Defiance and not like hit it too badly? Oh, there's a torpedo coming in. It is 1890 possible in this game. Okay, Defiance is going down. I think we're down to the last enemy merchant ship. The TRE. No name? They ran out of names. Yeah, we're just all gonna die. We don't even want to give this one a name. Okay. Let's go, boys. Ooh, we could ram them, but that would probably sink my own ship too. As much as I love to ram enemy shipping, not any real purpose this time around. They've got 4-inch guns on their merchants. Thank God they can't hit anything. Look at that. Combo 9x. Oh, another torpedo away. I don't think that was needed, but by the way, these cruisers are sailing in parallel, so if any one of these torpedoes were to miss and overshoot, they'd go right into the friendly. All right. And so there you go. A victory, 2,500 victory points versus 411 for the enemy. They did sink the Gradens light cruiser. We sank the Constance and the Cossack light cruisers, as well as the battleship Russell. The 3 enemy torpedo boats escaped with no real damage. And then the 10 enemy merchant ships, all 10 were sunk. And so 13 enemy ships are sunk to a cost of 1 German. A victory there, almost 3,000 British casualties to just 302 German casualties there. Take a look at ship status here. You got a whole bunch of statistics. I don't really feel like digging into all of that stuff. But we fired a lot of torpedoes here. 0 out of 1 for 1 British transport. The Constance hit with 2 torpedoes. How do you have 200% accuracy? 4 out of 2 hits. That doesn't make any sense. How did you get 4 hits with 2 shots? Huh? Were the ships... What? Okay. German efficiency at its finest. Yeah, you see, we'll hit 2 ships with 1 torpedo. Overpen into an adjacent ship. That's probably the only thing that makes sense, Chris. Magic. 0 to 1, 0 to 1. 6 out of 7. The Niobe sure fired a lot of fish. 1 out of 3 for the Hansa. 4 out of 4 for the New. Yeah. Lots of stats. There you go. Victory for the Germans in that intercepted battle. Germany loses 1 transport in the sea region of the North Sea. The British lose 10 in that last battle. If we go to finances here, we're at 99% transport capacity. We probably want to spend a little bit of money to bump that up. We'll do 1% per month, which drops my available cash down to 1.6 million from what was it, like 2.7 or something. But we have almost 9 million bucks in the bank, and I'm not building anything else right this second. We also have another convoy battle here with 2 German armored cruisers versus British armored and 2 lights. Curious to see if they went light on their battleship guns, what their armored guns look like. That's not a very favorable battle, though. Before we jump into that, research, where are we at with this stuff? So control station is complete. We did the voice tubes with whistles. Let's drop that. 11 months away on the engines. Cruiser designs up to 27%. Explosives are at 21%. Brown powder, black powder, gun cotton. Huh. No white powder? Get us down to 9 months if we put that as a priority. Could also do torpedo propulsion in 3 months. I'm tempted to do that, get better torpedoes. I'd also like to get better torpedo tubes. I'd love a multiple launcher. But we'll do that. I did name a ship after you, Neuhauser, and it performed impeccably. All right, so working on bigger docks. I wish you could accelerate dock construction. 1 month or 1 year for 1,000 tons seems absurdly slow. All right, let's see how this works out. The Irene and the Kaiser and Augusta versus the Drake, the Attentive, and the Penguin. Now, the enemy ships are marked as R, which I believe means reinforcing, which I think means we'll get in amongst the enemy merchants first. But we'll see. The weather is daytime, gentle breeze, slight waves, cloudy weather. So a couple of penalties to our accuracy. Green crew. Training level cadets. Was the Kaiser in the last battle? Open fire! I assume this is a merchant. It is. Alright. Merchant ships have guns again. 4 torpedoes, and I want to say 2 torpedo tubes. Right, these are all merchants that we're spotting here. We're supposed to sink all of the enemy merchants. I mean, it doesn't really matter if I sink one of the enemy warships or whatever, it'll quickly change, but there's a lot of enemy merchants that we're sailing into here. Trying to get the furthest one away so that we can work our way to the closer ones. These are all merchants. I guess the computer decided to pull into the closest target. The Rifleman. Great name for a merchant ship, but, you know, whatever. I'll turn away to try and get a rear turret into action. Sinking. Just switch to the closer target then. The petard. Oh, they got a hit on us, huh? I don't want to break this task force up. I'd be tempted to send the Kaiser and Augustin to go after this other line of ships, but I don't want to do that because the enemy warships are presumably charging toward us somewhere. Okay. Hard sink. Fine, I'm gonna do exactly what I said I didn't want to do. Kaiser and good deal with those guys. Finish off petard. It's not sinking yet. There you go. That should finish it off. All right, Irene. Go for Transport X. Close the range. Petard's sinking. Kaiser, and you're going to go after the other enemy line. He fired a torpedo off against someone. Set to not fire now, but it must have been when I first switched the task force. The Son of Shadow, thank you for the follow. Is that like the radio show? The Shadow knows. I remember when I was younger and I had a tape or whatever in my room. For whatever reason, my parents got me like, I think it was like one St. Nick's or something like that. They got me like a couple of old-timey episodes of The Shadow or whatever. Which I think there was an Alec Baldwin movie where he was the Shadow in it. But okay. Yeah, there's some fire coming in off in the distance over here. I think the enemy warships might be out this way. All right, that's gonna sink. There they are. Smoke means cruisers. All right, Irene. Turn away from the enemy. Maybe fire on the merchant invincible for a sec. Kaiser, and you're going to need to come join her. We'll finish off Royal Arthur. It's interesting how the enemy merchant task force split, going two different directions, pulling my own task force apart. I don't think that was deliberate, but the end result was pretty, I think, effective for them to break my task force up. Okay, light cruiser over here. Let's go toe to toe with the Penguin. Turn into her, Irene. We're not going to finish off the merchants because they're going to be too far away. We'll never reacquire them, at least not within the span of how patient I'm willing to be. The Kaiser and Augustine's skipper saw in the distance large muzzle flashes which indicate enemy heavier warships. The volume of fire perceptibly increased to the north, and so he broke off and made for his compadre, the Irene, which presumably must have engaged British warships. The Penguin is aflame. The enemy protected cruiser has 6-inch guns, which nearly equal the armored cruiser of the German vessels. That's a lot of flotation damage on the Penguin there. The Drake has 8-inchers, so they do have heavier guns than we do. Alright, Kaiser and Augusta's coming up. Irene hasn't taken too much damage. Definitely benefiting in this battle against the Penguin here. Its armor is outperforming. We'll order the Kaiser and Augustine to swing in behind Irene, I think. Our flotation there. Penetration fire. 3 engine damage, flooding, and fire. Bad day to be aboard the Penguin. These guys don't have torpedoes, do they? They do not. Alright, Penguin's getting shredded. Switch fire to Drake. Maybe we'll get a nice torpedo in on here. Torpedo away! Alright, let's slow things down. The enemy armored cruiser Drake. Wasn't the Drake one of the Black Duke class armored cruisers that got wrecked at Jutland? I think it was the Black Duke class. There were like 3 British armored cruisers that just got obliterated at Jutland. Boom! Torpedo hit! Sorry, Drake. You had a bad day. Gotta love torpedoes. God, I love them. I love them when I've got them and the enemy doesn't. Put it that way. Wasn't it the name of... Wasn't the Black Prince the name of a British armored cruiser class? Prince William or whatever, nicknamed the Black Prince. I don't know why I want to say Iron Duke, but I know that was a battleship class, so I know it's not that. Alright, well this should be another nice little victory for us. Granted, the enemy CLs could still do some damage, so we gotta stay away from them a little bit. Where are their torpedoes here? We've got a stern tube and a midships tube, bow tube. I mean, do we want to risk firing another one? Let's speed up. Oh shit. Are we really in range of their fish? Hard over, Captain. Turn into them. Enemy torpedoes out on the Penguin. Normally you turn away from torpedoes, right? Did this guy never join formation? I guess he didn't. that fish is going to miss Irene. All right, Drake is down to 15. Penguin is... Another enemy fish, huh? Do it again, boys! If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a torpedo. Have a good one, NRS. Thanks for coming out. Oh, you're right. The Drake was, those were the armored cruiser classes that, like, weren't there 3 of them? They were Navy reserves, and they all got wrecked by one German U-boat in the channel, like, right at the start of the war. How can the turrets depress enough? I don't know that it factors that in. Probably should. Don't think it does. Come on, finish the Penguin off before they get a chance to fire another torpedo, because if we go broadsides on with this guy, it's for sure going to get another fish out. I'm not sure which tubes fired, but we are goddamn danger close. Fuck it. Emergency reserve or reverse. Everybody stop. I don't want to go broadsides with this guy. No, I heard a torpedo. Oh, it's our torpedo. Never mind. That was a waste of a fish. He's going to sink, but... Okay. Whew. It says engines are damaged, but I think that's just because we went with the emergency reverse. I don't think they actually damaged our... Okay. That fish is going to cross right in front of us to finish off the Drake. The Cressy, Abacabur, and Hogue. Man, I'm just messing up my ship names. Those are the 3 sunk by the U-9. What the fuck is the Drake? Was the Drake at Cornell? I know that was the Good Hope. But was that another one of the ships there? All right, and we're going to jump ahead here because we try to chase this enemy light cruiser down but never get close, so I'm just going to skip ahead to the end of the battle. All right, so 1,400 more British sailors dead, 13 Germans. The Penguin and the Drake both sunk, and then I want to say 5 merchant ships. So almost another 1,000 victory points versus only 3 for the enemy. And it's kind of like seal clubbing. So the enemy's down to 18 light cruisers versus our 13 armored. Well, actually, let's hit next and see if that's 3 transports in the North Sea region. 4 armored versus 4 armored, and then 2 CLs and a 1 CA and 2 CLs. Okay. Yeah, so this is going to be an interesting fight. 4 armored cruisers versus 4 armored cruisers. 7 inchers versus 8 inchers. If we wipe them, that brings them down to 9. And then they've got a CA and 2 CLs in this other battle. I do not like my odds in this one. Where are we at research-wise? 13 months on the engines. Cruise designs up to 33%. 2 more on torpedo propulsion, fast torpedo propulsion. So that'll make our torpedoes faster, presumably more deadly. Huh. Well, I think that's a good start to this campaign as the Germans. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap this video up here. I hope you guys enjoyed the beginning of a new German campaign. Got off to a pretty good start. A couple of nice little victories here against the Royal Navy. Despite the lighter caliber of our battleship shells, they seem to work well. We'll see how things play out in the next video. Until then, however, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching. And as always, until next time, I'm out.